my channel, How To Chris here. Thanks for joining me again today. So today I'm going to show how I restore my tack hammer and also how to magnetize this and also how to magnetize other tools. So what I'm going to do is, you can see that this hammer, it's wobbly, so that's because this handle dried out. So to fix this, I can do a couple things. One thing a lot of people would tend to do in this case is probably put a bigger wedge here, and then that would be fine, it would work. But what I'm going to do is just soak this in a small pail of water overnight, and that'll make this swell up and be nice and tight. So I'll show you how that worked out. And also what's going on with this is it's not magnetized anymore. So normally you take your tack, you put it here, and this is the magnetic part. You can see that it's shaped, it looks like the old style magnets. So you would put your tack here, tack it into the material, and then you turn it around with this flat side, hit the nail, well actually hit the tack. So it's not magnetized anymore. So let me show why that is, what happened here, or what's going on here. So it's not this, it won't, the nail won't, it doesn't attract anymore. So first let's start off with magnetizing some other things I have here. So let's take a look at what I have. Let's see if we can. So I have just some tools here. I'm going to show how I magnetize each one of them. So if I take that same nail, and you can see it's not sticking. So very simple. What I do is I have a magnet from a stereo, a speaker, and any rare earth magnet works really well, and those are the powerful magnets, like these speaker magnets. You just take your magnet and go down from the handle towards the tip of the screwdriver, and then you take your nail and it's going to stick to it. So that's all I had to do to that. So let's do some more tools. Let's do a bunch of these, and I'll show you the exact process. Let me angle this down here. I've got a new angle set up here, and you'll be able to see a lot clearer everything I'm doing here. So we have all the screwdrivers and things I want to magnetize, including my tack hammer. We did this one already, which is working great. But you can see here that these, let's make sure none of these are already magnetized. So this is not, so this isn't picking up the nail. Let me get a bigger nail out to for easier to see. So I have a masonry nail here. So this one's not working. How about this one? Nope. No. No. This one's already magnetized. How about this one? We did already. So this one's all set. So get another hammer here. So you can see that I can actually pick up things and then get it started, hold it where I want, and just bang it in. But let's, this is magnetized, put that to the side. Let's get these all set. And these aren't, so I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's set. Put this one to the side. So now that some of these tools are magnetized, what I can do is, like for example with this Phillips screwdriver, I can get my screw on there and just reach wherever I need to, and the screw won't fall off. So that's really handy, because we can't always get our other hand to hold the screw. So that's one thing. Now, when it comes to nails, I have some 3/4 inch wire nails here, some 3-penny finish nails, and I have some 1-inch roofing nails. So what you can do is, I can just get the nail here, hold it with the screwdriver now, since it's magnetized, and just put it where I want and give it a tap. So that's one thing I can do. I can do, let's get these finish nails out. So I've got one of those set. I put it where I want, put it on the work surface, tack that in. I can get these small wire nails and pick that up. I'll just show that. Put it where I want. Put it on the work surface and just tack it in. So now, when it comes to, like, sometimes with these masonry nails, I'll do the same thing, and I'll pick it up like this, and I can hit it. But that's going to be in certain cases. A lot of times, for the masonry nails, I'm not going to just hold it with the screwdriver usually. What I'm going to do in that case is, I'm usually just going to take some cardboard and I'll just pop it in there. It's like this. And that'll stay at, even better. And then I'll put it where I want it. Get it through there a little bit. Put it where I want, and then I can really hit it much harder. So, but that's some things. So magnetizing is great for a lot of the small nails. Maybe for the masonry nails, probably get some cardboard. But for example, when I'm doing the masonry nails, like if I'm nailing down a metal track, it's really hard to get your hand in the track and then try to hold the nail like this. Let's even use a smaller nail. So try to hold the nail like this. Never this way, because that's going to hurt a lot more. So you always put your fingers upside down this way. And then, let me lower this. So you can hold it like this, and then you can do that. But without taking any chances with hitting your finger, you can use the cardboard. But again, if it's in a track, then the cardboard is a lot harder, because you would have to actually bend it like this, drop it in the track, and swing to hit that nail, which I do sometimes too. But so you can get it in there and do it like that. But a lot of times in that case, I'll just take a piece of wood. So I have something here. Let's just say you would find a scrap piece of wood, a thinner piece, so it doesn't actually even have to be thinner. So as long as you're getting your nail through the wood, and then this much is going to penetrate into the concrete, so that's going to work out good too. So you just nail this all the way through, and then you can hit it with a small sledgehammer too. So those are a couple of things. But mainly today I wanted to show how to magnetize the tools, and to show that, I want to show how I'm going to restore this and magnetize it as well, because it's not holding any tacks anymore. So it's supposed to hold it from this side here, and this is not for clipping the nail in there or anything like that. That doesn't hold the nail. What holds it is that it's magnetized, and right now it's not the case. So I'm going to start restoring this, and let me show how I'm going to approach this. So first thing I'm going to do is get some paper towel down here. Put these nails away. Put that down here. And going to put the hammer on the work surface and start sanding it to get it cleaner. I'm just going to sand it a bit. I'm going to get it a lot cleaner and get it to have a nice patina again. So, but what I'm going to do is see if we can get it to magnetize, and then I'll show you some of the other processes. So we need to find that magnet I had. It's right here. And I'm going to run the magnet down a few times. Okay, it's alive again here, so it's nice and it's holding that tack really well, and I can get started just like that, as simple as that. So now that I know it's magnetized, I can feel confident it's going to work, and during the cleaning it up, I know I'm not going to be wasting my time. So it's all set to go. Now that it's remagnetized, I'm going to focus on cleaning it and restoring it. So let's just continue doing that. So we got some sandpaper. Let's try some other techniques. Okay, so I'm going to use some emery cloth, and then I also have a wire brush. This is for cleaning copper pipe. Okay. It's starting to have a big improvement here. So let's use the wire brush to get in little nooks and crannies. I would say out of everything I'm using, this wire brush seems to be doing the best job. But I kind of knocked the heavy stuff off with the sandpaper first. If you had to choose out of all these, I would go with the wire brush. I have a brush that's a brass wire brush would be great, and I kind of lent that out so I don't have it, but this is working fine. I do like the sandpaper for just honing down on the two ends here. And also you can do it this way here. And here inside here with the wire brush. Okay, now I'm going to show you a trick that I do next. Okay, so now here's my trick. I'm going to just use some, I have some olive oil here, and I'm going to just put that on there. You could use any kind of oil, but I like to use food grade stuff, because I'll be touching this with my hands, and I like to have it that I don't have any kind of chemicals on my hands when I'm working, or just I just want to try to keep my tools clean in case I just so it's starting to come back. And, so really what I'm going to do is pour a little bit down in here. So it's coming along nice. I'm going to pour some more on this into the harder to reach places. And not too much is really needed, but just figure I'll pour a little in there. And because that's an important area. So what I can do now is just get a Q-tip, and that will work even better. And I've got that. Gotta always have these Q-tips in the shop too, because just for a situation like this. So I'll put a little bit in the cap. And of course this is, you could see I taped this, and this is only to be used in my workshop. So that's why I put tape on it, and it's down in on my shelf with all my other stuff that you can see over there. So there's no way I would accidentally use this. So that's why always, if you're going to use something that's from like a kitchen, or put a piece of tape on it, and actually one thing even better is just write on it for shop. So now I see that it says shop on there. I can never make a mistake. I'm going to pour a little bit into the cap. Just a tiny bit. Get the Q-tip saturated here. And let's get in here. So we don't want to miss anything. I don't want to really put too much where the wood is, because I'm going to be soaking this, and I want the wood to penetrate and expand this handle. But I just wanted to show how I can get this restored and magnetized. And then I'll show the finished product after. So the best thing to do is soak the handle first, get it good and tight, then you can restore it like I'm doing here. But it's going to work out either way for me. So just wanted to show how this looks. Wipe all that excess off. Be able to use this for a lot of projects now. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now, yes, you can do more to it, but I'm satisfied with that. I'm going to soak the handle, and then it's going to swell back up, and it's going to be good and tight. And so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to just make this handle look nice, and then afterwards I will just soak it, and the water will penetrate this part. That's all I care about, and just about this part here, and let this swell up nice, and it'll hold the head nice and firmly. So I can finish from this part down, and it'll be fine. So to do that, let's just start sanding it, or actually even better than sanding would be to scrape it, which will provide a more silky type finish. So how do we do that? Well, you can just simply use a nice sharp utility blade. I'll take it out like this. If you don't have this, with the scraper, then you can do it like this. But what you have to do is you got to kind of have it locked in place so it won't move. So let's clamp this down. You could put it in your vise, which would work too. Let's just clamp this here. I'll clamp it on the head part of this hammer. And now I can just draw the blade down. Again, it's really nice to have the a scraper on hand, but I'm just going to show that you can do it with this. And again, scraping it versus sanding is going to provide a lot better feel. Same when I do wood floors. You can sand the wood floors and put a couple coats of finish on it, or even woodwork, any kind of woodworking projects. But as everyone knows, sanding is more of a newer technology. We used to always do scraping prior to that, so that's why it's called. People always say, let's get my floors scraped, and that's where that comes from. But nowadays they don't really scrape them as much. They just tend to sand them, but nothing better than scraping wood, because when you sand, it's going to bring fibers out, and it's going to get a little bit fuzzy, so you have to keep going down different sizes, different grits to get it smooth. But again, scraping it is going to do an even better job. So you can just see I draw it across. It's coming out really nice, and once I put the finish on, it'll be a major transformation. Not to do too much, I just want it to look nice. I'm not looking to sell it or anything. I just want to be comfortable, get all this grime off of it, and I want to be happy with the way it feels in my hand. Oops. So what I can do, how this keeps kind of moving on me, I'll show you what I can do in this case. Is I'm going to put a nail right here, and I'm going to set it a tiny bit below the surface, or I can take the handle, or I can even just take this off, drop it below, put this back on, lock this down, That'll keep it from moving. So I can do that because I have a hole in here. That's how I hang this hammer up. But let's continue. Now I know it's not going to move on me. Let me see if I can get a different angle so you can see what I'm doing. Make sure we're not missing any of this here. So I'm just going to continue scraping it. Hopefully my hands aren't blocking anything. Again, I'm just using a blade from my utility knife. It looks good. Okay, let's flip it. That's how it's coming out so far, and you can see the difference on the other side. So it's from this to this, but once I put my olive oil on there, or any of my cooking oil that I use, it's going to really look nice. Let's get this so it doesn't pop up. A little bit, that's okay. Start all the way up at the head here and get this nice and smooth. Again, nothing's going to beat this feel of the handle now that it's been scraped. Okay, just keep doing it. Okay, let's get it, flip it, and get the side of it. And to do that, what I'm going to do, so I kind of just decided I'll put it in the vise. If I did it on the table here, I'd have to make something to hold it, but I'll just put it in here, and that'll be perfect. Maybe probably the best way to do it. Just drop it in, tighten it up a little bit. I have some plywood sandwiched between my vise so that I won't damage the handle. And I'm going to scrape on down, and I'll change the angle so I'm not in the way. Okay, so I have it in the vise, and now I'll just keep scraping it on down here. It doesn't really take that long, but it's kind of, I enjoy this actual process, so the longer it takes, I'm actually not minding that. And without sanding, I'm getting better results, and I'm also not getting any dust. So you can just sit down at your bench like I'm doing here. I have a chair in front of my vise here, and can just take my time, get this to look really nice. This has probably never been finished, just based on what I see here. It might have, but definitely not in a long time. And I don't even know where I got this hammer. I might have got it at a tag sale, I'm not sure. I have a lot of tools, so I can't really keep track of where I've got it, everything. Okay, just about ready to flip it here, and then we're going to put a nice coat of that. See, we got these sides done. I have to do here now. Then I'm going to seal it off with some vegetable oil, actually olive oil here. And I use this olive oil for everything. I don't like the odor of a lot of the sprays and things like that. So I do, everything I do is with a natural product. When I finish my woodworking pieces, when I make cutting boards, when I just finish off my shelves or furniture, cabinetry, doors, everything, I just use either walnut oil or olive oil, any cooking oil, and it seals it, and it keeps it from getting those fingerprints or anything really. And then every now and then you just reseal it. The only thing that's going to keep the wood from ever truly getting dirty or is really going to be just if you put some shellac on it. But I don't like that hard finish all the time. I like to have it more, I want it to feel like it's just the natural piece of wood. And the oil, when you put it on it, you just wipe it a few times, and then it's not going to be, you're not going to feel it. And you know that when you touch it, you're not actually touching any chemicals. You're just touching the wood and the oil, which is food grade. So let's do this end grain. It's going to be a little harder. Not too bad. On the end grain, I might just hit it with a little sandpaper. I don't mind using it a little bit, but for the handle, the whole handle itself, I'm not going to do that. Okay, a little bit here. Let's see how it came out. Well, first of all, it feels really nice. I'm happy with the way it feels. And I'm just going to hit right here a little bit. So what I can do now is just give it a few more nice passes just to make sure I like it 100%. Feel it again, and it feels nice and smooth. There's a tiny bit right here I want to sand, not sand, but scrape. Yep, I'm very happy with that. Let's put some finish on it. When I say finish, I mean this olive oil. I'm just going to get some on here. You don't need too much. Okay, let's see how we did. Well, I'm definitely liking this. Now, it has a little bit of things going on with it still, but if I want it to be perfect, I can just keep scraping it along. But I got all that grime off. You could see I have a big pile here, plus whatever went on the floor. But now I have a nice silky smooth handle. And the head, all I have to do is soak it now. And this will tighten right up. And that's going to be in part 2 because I have to soak this overnight. And then it's going to just need a little time to swell up. So, and I'll show that in part 2. So part 2, I'll show this finished product, how this head, it won't be wobbling any longer. And then I can even show how to restore some other hammers perhaps, but I didn't want to make the video that I only showed this. So there'll be a part 2. And I'll show some more things. Thanks for watching. Okay, so now I'm going to fill this up to the right level that I want so that I can get this. The head of the hammer has to be saturated so that this wood's going to swell up. I don't need to wet anything further, just a little bit down below here, just above the head itself of the hammer. So I've got a bottle here. I popped a hole in it. I just used a screwdriver. Just got a hole in the cap there. And I'm going to put that in here. Let's fill this up. So got that in there. Let me just fill it up to where I want it. That's perfect. I got it just above the head, and let's have a look at that. So you can see this is the hammer in here, and it's soaking now, and that'll be in there for overnight. I'll take it out and I'll show how that actually worked, because when you have these loose hammers, it's a matter of the wood usually just has shrunk in most cases, so then you just soak it overnight. So see you on the next video. That'll be part 2, and check out my other various how-to videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.